readers and viewers are going online, millions and millions of individuals every single day, looking up natural cures, natural solutions, alternative health, and we are winning the battle. There is zero question. The new health paradigm is unfolding. And that's why we have Billy DeMoss, who is a chiropractic doctor, but more importantly, he's behind the event CalJam. Specifically, it's one of the top natural health events in the world. It is the largest chiropractic event in the world. Thousands of individuals will be going. Alex Jones is the featured speaker. I'll be speaking as well on the subject of Fukushima. But let's just get right into it about what CalJam is and how you see everything unfolding, how Big Pharma is just completely losing the battle now. Don't you agree?
I mean, it's blatantly obvious that they're losing the battle, and that's why with the whole this whole vaccine initiative, I hate to keep bringing that up, but it's just that to me is a sign that they're so desperate because we've got this SB 277, which is going to make it mandatory for people to get vaccines in California. And California is just the first state. It's going to go across the country.
Oh, of course.
Because so many people are learning the truth and they're not doing it anymore. So the only way that they're going to get people to do it is by forcing them to do it. The problem is you've got so many people that have been brainwashed into that system that think vaccines save the world, which in reality is just all a hoax. It's because if you do actually, what I try to do is get people to actually do their reading and do their own research and make educated decisions, not based on all the stuff that they've been brainwashed on TV to believe, on mainstream TV, and all the stuff that their pediatricians spout out to them, basically because they've been trained by the pharmaceutical system, and the objective is to just get people to think outside of the box. But the fact that I know we're winning this war. There's no question about it. That's why they have to push so hard. But we're going to just keep pushing back, man.
You know, it reminds me of Prozac. They came out with Prozac. They said it was perfectly safe, right? They said it'll help cure your depression. FDA approved.
Right.
Kids on it today, Prozac.
Right.
And it turned out in the early 2000s, a Harvard professor came out and said the individuals taking it, the general public, were being treated like guinea pigs.
Right.
That's verbatim what he said. And it turns out in the 80s, they knew from their controlled studies that it was actually causing people to kill themselves more often, causing suicidal thoughts, increased depression. And it didn't come out until 2004 when the BBC interviewed a Harvard professor who said that Prozac was killing children. And they're still on it.
Right.
I mean, it's a major scam. And talk about what led you to create CalJam, the natural health event, where speakers like Andrew Wakefield, Alex Jones are coming on and talking about...
And you and Dane Wigington on the geoengineering. It was just, I wanted to take it to a bigger platform, and I wanted it to be an uncensored platform, but I also wanted it to be a platform where people could come and actually still have a good time. It's not like we're going to, it's all going to be negative.
It's not boring.
Yeah, it's not boring, man. It's like all the...
Because this isn't boring anyway. This is amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. And the thing is, we've got great speakers, but then when we come out, then we have an amazing production team. We've got huge screen behind us while we're playing music. We've got 2 screens on the side. We've got one above. And the music and the videos all push the message even more. So like I said, we're doing Snowblind. We're doing Pusher Man by Curtis Mayfield about just, the whole cartel, the pharmaceutical cartel. It's basically just legalized pushing of drugs. And again, all the songs push the whole message. And and the thing about music too is it's one of those universal languages that they hear that song Pusher Man, they're always going to come back to that event. And that's what's beautiful about it. And I've always been someone that's loved music my whole life. It's one of those things that, like I used to go to these seminars all the time, and I would go to these chiropractic events, and I would come out of there just on fire and I go, the only thing that would take it to the next level is if we put a little like heavy metal in there. It would just take my energy to the next level. So what I've done is taken what I've seen work for me and I've taken it to the next level. And I mean, I try to make everything that we do at this event, you'll see everything is first class. I mean, it is in the most stellar, opulent, most beautiful performing arts center in the center of Orange County. Everything that we do is, we're going to have the gala dinners in the Center Club, which is beautiful, and then we have the disco party the next night, and we've got, it's hard to describe how cool this event is.
And it all came out of your desire to seek truth and realize what was really going on.
Right, I mean...
If you're comfortable with telling everyone, you're 56 years old.
Right.
I mean, you don't look 56. I mean, you look 40, if that.
Right, and I mean, and the other thing is, I mean, plus, I feel younger. I mean, I still surf every day. I still surf on a short board. The surfboards that kids ride on. Most kids my age, I'm still a kid. Most adults my age are either not surfing anymore or they're on longboards. And I really, I live the lifestyle that I teach people. And in the reality, your body's designed to live to be 120 years old. And there's a lot of things that people can do to achieve that goal of longevity. But most people go the medical route, and it just literally not only maims them, but it kills them prematurely because all those drugs are so toxic to the body. Every drug that you take is going to have the same negative side effect that you're trying to treat. It's going to make it worse. So your depression, once you're off the drugs, it's going to go even through the roof more. So you get addicted to those drugs, and every one of those drugs have negative side effects. And that's why I see it in my practice. You get like 16, you get these adults coming in there and 16, 20 meds at one time, and then you wonder why people have things like Alzheimer's, and they're predicting. I was just at a longevity conference. They're predicting 1 in every 2 people is going to have Alzheimer's in the future, and it's all because of just all this chemistry and bombardment from the geoengineering, from the GMO, from just the crap that people think is food anymore, and the water, and it's just the fluoride, obviously. And I just want people to understand. I mean, I learn this stuff when I read. I don't watch TV. I call myself a bookivore. I just love to read books. And I get this info in here, and then it burns a hole in my heart that people don't know this stuff. And I've really got, half my practice is kids. I work with pediatrics, and you see these moms bring these autistic kids in, and it's the same story over and over and over. They had a perfectly normal kid, 18 months, they get the MMR, and then their kid's autistic, and the kid's life's destroyed. And that's not even the beginning of it. The kid's life's destroyed, but these kids come into my office, and for 5 minutes, it's pandemonium. These kids are out of control. That mom has to live with that kid for the rest of life. So 87% of relationships, of marriages where there's autistic kids end up in divorce. What it does is just destroys the whole social fabric. That's what all these drugs are doing.
You know, you think about it, on average, pharmaceutical drugs, have an average of 70 side effects. Mm-hmm. Some of that includes diabetes, and that's why 1 in 3 people in the near future will have diabetes. You're talking about 1 in 2 having Alzheimer's. And then you look at it, there is a variation where some of the drugs, though, average 500 side effects. 500 side effects. Right. So you treat those side effects with other drugs. And you contrast the Prozac story we talked about, how Prozac came out and it was actually causing people to kill themselves, with olive oil. Now, what's funny is I wrote this story about an olive oil compound that if you put it in a petri dish with cancer cells, it kills them in 30 minutes, under an hour. Right. I don't know if you're familiar with that piece. It came out in peer-reviewed research. But we published that story, and everybody didn't believe it. They were like, this is totally fake. There's no way this could possibly be true. You know, the pharmaceutical companies would make it, blah, blah, blah. It turns out, yes, it is true. It's in Time magazine. You know, it's in every single mainstream media agency. We just covered it first. And you contrast that with Prozac killing you. Here we have olive oil. Costs like $2. I mean, for organic, maybe it's $4, right? You drink some olive oil and you're killing cancer cells in your body. Right. That's just amazing to me. It's just so simple, and that's why so many people are waking up to it, I think. So tell us about how to get CalJam tickets at infowars.com/CalJam or caljam.org, and when it's taking place, all of the information. Yes. If the tickets are still available at this point, they're probably completely sold out, but you can still get a live stream ticket, right?
Right. And the live stream tickets, I think, are $27, which to me is, nonsensically cheap. And, it's going to be March 27th, 28th in beautiful Orange County, California. You're coming out for that.
That's
You're going to probably play some golf or something. Is that what?
We'll see what happens. It's a really beautiful place out there.
To me, it's like one of the most beautiful places on the planet because I travel extensively surfing, and I always love coming home to California. It's super clean, and I just really...
And the center where it's taking place looks amazing.
Oh, it'll blow your mind. It's like all the seats are velvet seats. It's all opulent. It's just unbelievable. And, people come in there and it raises their level, especially for some chiropractors, it raises their level of self-esteem, and it's important for people to have that level of self-esteem.
So you can go to caljam.org to get the tickets.
Right.
If they're still available.
Yes. caljam.org/INFOWARS.
/INFOWARS.
Right. Okay.
Well, ultimately, what it's come down to is the reality that we are winning the war. The information war for your health, for your family's health, for your individual freedom, for your health freedom, for securing the food supply once again. And initiatives like CalJam just remind us of the vigor and the spirit and the ability for us to conquer Big Pharma and the pharmaceutical cartel companies which are attempting to squash us. So I encourage you to go to caljam.org/INFOWARS, get a live stream ticket. It's like $20. You get to see, 30 speakers all speak, including myself, Alex, Andrew Wakefield, many others. This is Anthony Gucciardi encouraging you to check out CalGym, and thanks for watching.
That's it for our show tonight, but I do understand we do have just a few tickets left for CalGym. So if you're going to be in Southern California, be sure to check that out. March 27th through the 29th. You can see Alex Jones, Dr. Edward Group, and also Anthony Gucciardi representing INFOWARS. Be sure to step out there and see it if you can. And also stop by PrisonPlanet.tv. You can see the Alex Jones Show, the nightly news, the special reports, the rants, and so much more at PrisonPlanet.tv. It funds our broadcast. And this is how we get our funding to go out and see things like the black sites in Chicago and also things going on in Ferguson, Missouri, and all over the country and all over the world. I'm Jakari Jackson for the INFOWARS Nightly News, and we'll see you again tomorrow night.
From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new INFOWARS Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
You are watching the INFOWARS Nightly News, which airs 7 p.m. Central at InfoWarsNews.com. And your support is helping us defend liberty worldwide.